evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching us from. These are the Spillers. Welcome to our show, Candid TV, where we talk matters relationship, marriage, we talk about life, what is affecting us, ministry, a lot of many things. So, welcome to our show. It's been a while since we did this, but we are back. Yes, we are back. Sawa, let us introduce ourselves
Yes.
as we continue with the topic of today.
Yes, my name is Caleb Espila. I am saved. I love the Lord. Of course, the status is we are married, and the reason we decided to do this is so that we can be able to bring some of the insight in terms of relationships and dating and marriage. So the purpose of this is just to help people to be able to be enlightened on what is happening in marriages. By profession, I teach youths. Yeah, I teach youths in college. I won't mention the name, but I teach youths in college, in line with their profession, and also by Christianity. I am a youth pastor. I think that's enough. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good introduction. Yes, and as you've heard, we are a couple. My name is Rose, and most of you know me. I'm a minister, I'm a singer. I love God, I'm saved, I'm a mother, I'm a wife to this handsome man here. And we love God, we just love youths also together, and just enlightening people and just telling people more about God, and even about our experience in marriage, and even telling people or the world, or enlightening people of what to expect in marriages, or those that are in marriages, just to give their views and comments
Yes.
that will help someone.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So are you hungry or something?
No, I'm not hungry. I'm
It's just-
just yawning. You know, yawning is a sign of bringing more oxygen into your lungs.
Yes, but it's also a sign of
Not hunger.
hunger, boredom. But I think it's because he has not taken ugali. Leo nimempikia mchele, but it is okay.
Yes.
So
It's
let's
okay.
get to it. We want to talk about, last time we talked about relationships, how to know a serious relationship, or how to get into a relationship that will lead to marriage.
Yes.
And I believe it's in our social media handle, that is Facebook and also YouTube.
Yes.
We're going to share the handles right below the screen so that you will subscribe, share, and comment. Okay, so today we're going to talk about destructive forces that threatens marriages.
Yes.
I think that's a very
Serious
wide
topic.
and serious topic, because
Yes.
it affects everyone, even in relationships, even in not even in marriages alone, even in relationships. Relationship matters, like employee to employer, maybe parent to
Children.
to children, and now the couples or partners. So yeah, Mr. Caleb, what are some of the things that
Yes.
affects or disrupt marriages?
First of all, for our viewers, you need to know that we'll be doing this each and every Saturday. So you'll be receiving this information each and every Saturday. And because of the magnitude of the information that we're going to be giving, we'll be dealing it as per series. Like for the next few weeks, we shall be dealing with the destructive forces that affect relationships and marriages. And we are not handling this from the perspective of expertise, but we're also handling this from the perspective of experience, from the perspective of questions. You know, people come and ask you questions, counseling, and the likes. Now, direct to the point. One of the destructive forces in marriage, first understand that the word force is something that is external. Force is something that, you know, an item, from my little physics, I understand that an item is normally at rest until a force is applied.
Very true.
So a force is normally something that is applied, something that is from outside. Yeah, it might be spiritual, it might be physical, it might be an individual.
Okay.
So an individual, most of the people tend to destroy their relationships, if it's in jobs, if it is somewhere, if it's in the relationship or in the marriage. It's an individual sana sana anaweza anza na hiyo. Someone can start the issue. Someone can bring the outside force inside. They can bring the spiritual attack inside. They can be the actual cause. So remember, the marriage is usually between two people, the man and the woman. So for this outside force to be able to work inside the marriage, they have to use an individual. They can give influence. They can do so. One of the first things that destroys marriages is the aspect of respect.
Respect.
Yes.
That is the first force that can come and destroy your marriage.
Yes.
Lack of respect now.
Now, respect. I've mentioned it like respect as a principle.
Okay.
Respect is actually a principle. A principle is something that any individual or any individual thing that lives on earth needs it so that it can be able to survive. Like there's the principle of eating. You need to eat so that you can be able to digest. You need money so that you can. It's a principle. There's the principle of gravity. The principle of gravity is anything that is unstable tends to fall down. You understand? So that's the principle of gravity. There's the principle of levitation. Anything that that is suspended above air, and the air currents are a bit wavy, it means that this thing will levitate. Levitation means floating. You understand? It's a principle. So
okay,
the
we're
principle.
still learning. He's a teacher, so now we are going deeper to the definitions.
Now
That's a good thing.
Now the principle of respect is considering that these are two people who are adults, who have different egos, different experiences. You're not the first man she has met. You're not the first woman she has met. So these are two people who have even come from families. People who have come from families. Maybe they're well respected people, or maybe these are people who guarded their names. These are people maybe who associated with great people, or people who associated in terms of love. So these are their definition of respect.
Okay.
You understand? Even something called birth order and personality. You find someone as a firstborn, there is how they expect to be treated, and a lastborn is how they're expected to be treated. Like I've said, each one of them has a different understanding of this thing called respect. So what is respect? Respect is honoring a person's position in your life. For example, if it is a boss, you understand that this boss owns the position in my life as my employer. He pays me for the services that I give. He doesn't pay me for sex. He pays me for the position that I have in his life. He doesn't pay me to listen to his stories. He pays me for his position. I give him the services, or I give her the services. Then in return, 30 days later, he gives me my money.
That is the salary.
Anything, yes, salary or wages. Anything beyond that is a disregard to your contract. It's a breach of contract. Okay, anything beyond that is a breach of contract, and now that's where disrespect enters. Yes.
Now in an employer and employee relationship.
Yes.
What about when it comes to relationships or marriage? What are those signs, or how can you identify if there is a problem in matters of respect, where there is lack of respect in a relationship or in marriage? How do you identify, and what are the signs?
Very good. So like we've said, respect is honoring the position of a person in your life. For example, if it is a husband, if it is a husband and a wife, if it is a husband, you honor the position that this is the person who is going to be providing. It's a person who gives you security. This is a person who carries the image of the house. You understand? Like he is the name giver of that house. Like you're married to this person. So like the way we said, there's pillars. Previously, you are Rose Karanja. So Rose Karanja had to drop Karanja to take my second name. So you have to honor that position. And you, as the wife, I have to honor your position as the complimenter. You're the person who's complimenting. So anything that you do has to be appreciated in terms of complimenting. You are the nurturer. So anything that you do, you nurture. Understand? So I have to honor that position in your life. So how do I notice that there is a difference? Number one, men are providers by nature. Men are providers by nature. So anywhere that a man falls in love, they provide. Anywhere that a man falls in love, they provide. They will go out of their way. Kama ni mtu wa mjengo utapata anapata 500 per day. Kama amependa dem, okay, let me use English. If this person is doing masonry work is using bricks to build a house. So this person is doing masonry work and is earning 500 shillings or $5 per day. So this person, for the sake of the love that he has for this person, they can be able to sacrifice this 500 shillings so that they can make this person happy and comfortable. You understand? Providing means security, financial security, emotional security, words of affirmation. That is that.
Okay.
And then for a woman, they submit.
Even it's in the Bible
Yes.
that husbands love your wives
Mhm.
and the wives should submit to their husbands. Yes.
Yes. Point of reference, that is First Peter 3 verse 1 to 7. You can go on your right time to read that. It talks about wives and husbands and the dangers of not listening to your wives, and what wives can do to hinder your prayers. So if you do not listen to them at some point, so you can go and look at that.
So you're
That's
supposed
First
to
Peter.
listen to your wife.
Yes, and it depends on what you are listening to.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Depends with the matter.
It depends with the matter, and when you agree, even the things around you tend to agree.
Yeah, because when we say in all matters, remember Eve, Adam listened to Eve and
They were cast.
they were cast. So
Genesis 3:17. Yes.
very true. So Mr. Caleb, I want you to take us slowly. I know you're a teacher by profession, and you might bring things very fast, but the viewer and us, we want to digest everything slowly by slowly. That's why we have episodes that we're going to be giving it, that just the way you said, it's going to be a series. So I feel like matters of respect carries a lot, because it's one of the greatest pillar of and a principle also, as you've said, of a relationship. Because if there's no respect, then it threatens the marriage or the relationship, because the other party will always withdraw. You know, if someone used to do something or cook for you and you don't appreciate, and you used to appreciate, or maybe you come and don't want to eat and all that, it carries a lot, even in the side of let's say it can affect a marriage and lead to divorce, because you might feel like you're not important to this person, because the things that he or she used to do, she used to do it, or he used to do it because he respected you, and he recognized that you are the priest of the house, or the husband or the wife, and it was mutual, because I believe it's supposed to be mutual respect. When you come in the evening, kama mtu ametoka mjengo venye umesema and all that, sacrifice hiyo $5 yake ama 500 shillings, as a wife, how do you receive it? Do you know, is there a sign of appreciation? Because that's a sign of respect, because it shows you don't respect the efforts enye this person amemake, so that he can provide as the man of the house, and vice versa. So I feel like also a sign, another something that can show it's lack of appreciation. If you're not appreciating, that is, I think that's one of the signs. And also hiyo sasa bitterness, and a sign of withdrawing. Unaona mtu ni kama anaanza kuwithdraw, because ana notice hapa, hata nikisema hivi hata nisikiza. Because if it's a boss, hakuna nini, you're just fired. But now there's a relationship and marriage, you want to, so you'll take some time, you'll take some time, because it is both of you that are working. Si ati ni kama ile iko na superior, because yes, the head of the house is the man, but most of the relationship or marriages nowadays, I cannot say that they are equal 50-50, but there's that agreement mnakuwa nayo, so that you can run the house and run your things. Si kama employer and employee, the employee is always above, like you said, rules and evil. But now for marriage, it's a bit different, because you negotiate, you talk, you come up with your own budgets and all that. It's not like a company. So that's why I'm saying, when either of the party notices there's lack of respect, they tend to withdraw. They tend to withdraw and not show appreciation. Maybe if someone used to say thank you, unaona mtu leo ni kama hata haoni nimeleta kuku na siletangi kuku, vitu kama hizo. Then also I think bitterness, you just sense some bitterness, akiongea tu kitu unaona tu anaongea na bitterness. Yeah, maybe you can add up to some.
Yes, so I had not finished explaining.
Okay.
Yes, I was just giving the fundamentals of respect. So I was saying that women tend to submit and men tend to provide. So one of the shift of respect, changes of respect, is you find out this man 1 plus 1 is never 7. 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. And matter always occupies space. So the moment provision, the aspect of provision has not been met at some point, maybe this person has not lost his job, like you've said, lack of appreciation. So maybe this person has not been appreciated, has not been feeling appreciated, and then there's someone somewhere who appreciates maybe their provision. So you find they will shift the priority from point A to point B. So you find the person who used to receive the latter stops feeling appreciated or worthy. So they feel like this person has shifted the priority. Same to a woman. If you want to know if where your woman is taking her attention to, or where she's taking her submission to, look at what she listens to. Look at her dressing code. Has her dressing code changed from the way she used to dress with you?
So ukiona ameanza kuvaa miniskirt na hakuwa anavaa ama
Yes, associate it with the submission, because women are not created.
nafaa kama ni fashion.
There is nothing like fashion. Listen, women are loyal to what they feel, not what they see. Men are loyal to what they see, not what they feel.
Wait, what did you say?
Women
are loyal
to what they feel. A woman,
their feelings.
Yes, a woman can leave a man who has sacrificed everything for them for a man who has just changed their attire.
Wow.
Well, a man can leave a woman who is very beautiful for a woman who is decent and modest.
Really?
Yes. What they see, that's respect. But these ones, what they feel.
For us is what we feel.
So when a woman sleeps with another man, when a woman sleeps with another man, it is out of feeling. Hiyo ni kitu alikuwa anataka. But when a man sleeps with another woman, it is out of perception, not what they wanted. They will still go back home, but a woman will withdraw.
So the woman will not stay into marriage again. They will just find themselves wanting to walk away. But the man can just come months and months always in the house, but inje anapata.
Yes, inje anapata, and he will still service you very well. But a woman, once she sleeps with another man, that's why it's very easy to know a woman who is cheating. Unless wewe ni mjinga. It's very easy for you to know a woman who is cheating on you. Hata kitu kidogo kama attention.
But kuna watu wanajua kuficha wanawake, they can just.
Ndio nasema unless wewe ni mjinga.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. About the feelings, what the women. Wow, I didn't know that. So I hope you are learning something, our viewers. Please comment, give us your views as we continue with this topic. Remember, we are talking about destructive forces that threatens marriages, relationships. And we've said relationships, yani it's not just marriage peke yake.
Before we go further, so how do you know that a woman is, we are still learning, so how do you know that a man or a woman has started disrespecting you? Women, like I said, tend to submit to you. The moment, a woman submits based on what she's used to. I usually tell my youth that if you want to get married, study the patterns of your girlfriend. So first, start with the basic. The father, how is the father behaving like? Look at the spiritual father, then look at the teacher. Listen to the story she gives about the male teacher. That is
now a student.
No, okay, see, obviously ndio uolewe ulikuwa umesoma.
Exactly.
Yes. So listen to the story that she will give you about her male teacher mwenye alikuwa na admire before. So those are the things that you're going to listen to and realize what you're going to do so that you can be able to. So if she submits to you, it means that you have met the threshold of all the three characters.
Of the father,
the spiritual,
of the teacher and the spiritual father.
Yes. Kama ni sheik ni hivyo. Kama ni muhindi.
Naje kama ana spiritual father ni pagan.
Kama ni pagan, ako na baba na mwalimu.
Okay, both of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So, how does a lady change? So, if she doesn't answer back at her father, and then now she starts answering back at you, the authority has changed. Someone has taken over your place without you knowing. You understand? So that's where you start now studying. Apart from being a teacher, I'm also a psychologist. So that is where you will start now studying dress code. Dress code alikuwa anavaa hivi. Ameanza kuvaa.
Kuongelesha, amekujibu sasa.
Sasa amekujibu hiyo ni red flag.
So
sasa anza kuangalia where is she submitting to.
Ameanza kubai to tungo tuataki kitu yenye tunamshikashika hivyo.
Yes, she was not into fashion, but now she's into fashion.
What if there's a different nini apart from okay, fashion maybe anaweza kuwa amechange because of position ya job or something, huh? Or maybe
Yes, and of course things don't change. It is the environment that changes things. It is not that things that change. It is the environment that changes things. So the reason why maybe I may change is because maybe they have noticed someone that they need to attract. Hajakubali kwa mind yake. Subconsciously there is someone she wants to attract. But kwa kiyeye anajua ako loyal kwa kitu fulani. We are talking about marriage. Yako loyal kwa marriage. Like look at our mothers. They spend a lot of time in churches. But you find they have a hard time submitting to the fathers.
Very true.
So they cannot leave the fathers, but they submit to church because the spiritual authority anapatiana hiyo direction yenye
anapena direction,
na ndio unapata our spiritual father wanapita na bibi za watu haraka sana. Yes, because there is something. Now what leads to disrespect? Number one, if a couple is not communicating with one another, telling each other this is what I feel. Even for men you find provision, the contract is the same. Provision, look at where they are providing. Kama ameacha kulipa rent, kuna mahali basi analipa rent. Because kama analipa rent 30,000 tuseme, ama 13, ama 15, ama 20, hiyo pesa huwezi niambia imepotea. Na si ati amenunua ama amefungua studio. Kuna mahali hiyo pesa imeenda. So 1 plus 1 can never be 7. The same way a woman, if she stops, ameanza kukujibiza, ameanza kukuonyesha like mnatoshana, because amwezi kuwa mnatoshana. One is usually put lower than the other, you see, like in terms of reasoning. So that you find that there is one who is usually lower. So if you find that you are now at par, it means the standard has raised. So there is someone who is stepping down on you. And when you find out, matter always occupies space. There's someone who is trying to occupy the space, or she's entertaining someone who might occupy your space.
Wow.
Yes.
That is nice. That is deep. We're getting somewhere. So that is lack of mutual respect. That is the first point of a destructive force that can threaten your relationship or your marriage.
And not communicating.
Not communicating.
In the aspect of respect. You know, when you feel there is an injustice, lack communication. First let's wacha tupeleke pole pole. Tupeleke watu pole pole. A relationship is built on 5 pillars. There is communication, finance, there is trust, there is friendship, and there is faith. Having faith in the person. So communication is the main pillar. Like every house has a pillar, the main pillar. Ukiguza hiyo pillar ni hivyo, hiyo nyumba imeanguka. Strong as it is, think of the Twin Towers. Kuna mahali iligongwa na ikaanguka chini. So the main pillar if the devil wants to attack your marriage, he comes through communication. Unapata mnadharauliana na hamwezi ongea.
You can't talk about it.
You cannot talk. Huyu anafeel hataki kusema. Huyu mwingine anafeel na hataki kusema. So mnanyamaziana. And the silence between two people who once loved one another is very loud.
Wow. It is silent but it is loud. It speaks.
It speaks. Hata watu wakiingia wanaweza notice hapa kuna tension. Yes. Because there's something called chemistry. So that's what the devil attacks. He attacks the communication aspect. So communication is, there is the sender, receiver, and there is feedback.
Yeah.
So there has to be feedback. If there is an injustice that is being communicated, if the wife feels that the husband is not respecting the husband should not defend themselves. What are you defending? There is something you're protecting.
If you're defending yourself.
If you're very defensive. Communication means that I have to receive the information, then I give the adequate feedback. Remember, remember, defensiveness is an adequate feedback itself. It means that you're an infidel. Kuna mahali yenyewe kweli, there's something you're protecting.
So the person who always defends themselves is the person who's always wrong.
Actually, any person who is very angry, any person who is always angry in a question, they are evading something. There is something they are evading. You know, a person who has started cheating, they do not know that they have started cheating. Or a person who, it starts psychologically.
Okay.
There are those who are called something. There's a name that I've forgotten. These people who have sex like crazy. These ones, hautashindwa kujua. But there are these ones, it starts with a stage. It starts with a desire. So you find the desire overrides the subconscious. So this person starts telling you, you cannot do like this, you're not up to standard like this, or you don't have a car. You see, all along you've been having, mmekuwa mkiencourageana about gari,
Yes,
mtanunua
mkitembea
gari.
miguu na kurushiwa maji kama kumenyesha na watu wenye wako na magari.
Yes, mkanyeshewa
And it
pamoja.
was okay.
It was okay. Then all of a sudden anakwambia we ni mwanaume na gani hauna gari. You
Na
understand?
for the past 5 years hakuwa amenotice
For the
hauna
past
gari.
10-15 years.
Lakini saizi ukisikia anasema
Jua sasa the stages of cheating have
means
begun.
kuna kasain
Kuna kasain. And then when you follow closely, you'll realize that the person that she has started submitting to has a car.
Wow.
Yes. So, or if it's a man, the latter is also the same. This person never used to notice you have a big nose or maybe vitu kama hizo. But now all of a sudden
ama una shape.
But all of a sudden ako like, we kifua yako imelala, vitu kama hizo. So it means there is someone who is
Ana notice hizo after 5 years after umezaa umekaa na yeye na alikuwa tu
watoto
sawa.
watatu,
Okay.
Yes. So it's stages of cheating.
Okay.
Stages of
Wow.
cheating actually is the main reason why communication breaks. It is nothing to do with in-laws. It has nothing to do with witchcraft. Can also be that, because witchcraft sometimes can send a person will destroy your marriage your way.
Okay.
Anaweza tuma mtu tu akuja kukuangushia marriage yako. Lakini cheating is the reason. 3 is a crowd. 2 is power, 3 is a crowd.
Very true.
And when a crowd is there, you have to disperse one person so that the crowd can fit. This person can come in so that they can be able to be two again.
Wow.
And remember, it's a cycle that you have begun. The moment you leave someone for someone else, it is an endless cycle that, and eventually it ends in death.
Yeah. So
It's
that is the consequence.
Yes, it's an endless cycle you have begun. Utatoka kwa hii uingie
Kwa
ingine.
mwingine.
Uingie kwa ingine. Ya tatu sasa itakuwa ni umeingia kwa marriage ile wrong. Then you die.
Pangiwe wakora.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah, because those are the things that we watch in our news nowadays. Mara ni relationships, mara ni student wakiwa na boyfriend wakiwa they had an argument but this happened. Mostly inakuanga lack of communication, cheating and all that.
Yeah.
So I believe that these talks will really help people out there because these are the things that are affecting our generation and these are the things that are affecting people out there. So let us continue with let us go to the next point. What is the other force that can be destructive or threatening in a marriage apart from lack of respect?
Yes. So there are several, and I feel suspicion is another issue. Suspicion.
Suspecting one in what manner?
Suspecting. You see, if something changes, you have a right to suspect. You have a right to suspect. And I've said, communication is a key aspect. Sometimes you have a good partner who wants to communicate, but wewe since uko stage 2 ya cheating, you want to shut down the communication. You want to shut down the injustice that this person has noticed. The partner is willing to work, but especially like I've said, women, it affects, and women, be careful in this, because women are loyal to what they feel. So anapandanga hizo stages haraka. A man can withdraw, anaweza hold because ako na logic side, anaona 10 years ahead. A woman ako excited na sahi, atapewa ngiri 5 achanganyikiwe. So atapanda hizo stages haraka, na unapata within time most people get in infidelity, hata sio kwa relationship, ni married women for some reason, because anapanda hizo stages haraka. Maybe kuna kitu bwana yake amekuanga tu sawa naye. Then all of a sudden someone comes tall, dark and handsome. Mtu anakaa Vin Diesel, you know. So anapanda hizo stages haraka. Anaenda gym, ni mweupe. So unapata anapanda hizo stages haraka. So now when the man is trying to communicate the injustice, because yeye anaona 10 years ahead, the woman since amepanda na anaweza jibizana and all that, unapata ana shut down the injustice. Anaanza kusema you are overthinking. There is nothing like overthinking. If you're thinking, if x plus y is equals to z, it is like that. X plus y is equals to z. Hakuna another way of equation. Kama kuku imepita ni kuku imepita. You cannot convince me it is a dog. A chicken has 2 legs. It doesn't have 4. So anytime a person communicates an injustice, unless they are projecting something. But clearly you can see this is an injustice. A good woman or a good man, sometimes even the men can be the problem.
Yes, I wanted even to say unaingilia women sana, because even men, they have scandals of cheating. Actually, most men, even in marriages, because they tend sometimes, especially in a particular stage or a particular phase in marriage, it can be so delicate because now the attention, especially when babies arrive now or babies start coming, you find like most men tend to feel rejected by their women because now the attention has shifted from them to the kids, and that is where mostly actually ukisikiza watu wengi wenye washa experience hii challenge ya cheating, or those that are separated or divorced, you can just, or those that have experienced like a man cheating mostly, it is during that period of time. So pia tusisema ati mostly ni women because of their feelings. There are those men that don't have vision. Yeah, anaona hata yeye anaona ai ni sawa, tusonge, si yeye anajifanya hapo sijui maziwa saa zote kunyonyesha nini. But kuna wale logic venye umesema, it takes time. But kuna wale ako na opportunity hapo karibu, ako na mtu mwenye ako karibu, if it's a house girl or if it's someone in the office or in their in wherever they work, they are just available, that person is available, anamwonyesha hiyo affection yenye apati kwa nyumba, maybe your attention yenye alikuwa amezoea kupewa, pia it can lead to cheating for them. I'm saying now for them. So wacha tusidwell sana ati ni women to defend side moja sana. It is both parts. It is let it be balanced. It can be both.
Okay, I was trying to explain from the perspective of the psychological makeup of a woman, because women are emotional beings. They use both lobes of the brain. The men use the logic side of the brain. Yeah, so it's psychological.
Okay.
Sometimes, like I've told you, there are stages in cheating, and you find, since this is an emotional being, and if a man has been brought up amongst many women, they might find even them, there are stages of climbing the cheating ladder is faster. A person who has been brought up in a stage of many women, or who has been brought up by a single mother, you find they are emotional in nature. They are not people who understand authority. They do not understand
because
taking charge.
They have not had an authoritative figure.
Yes.
Especially from the single mother.
Yes. So you find now on that matter. Now, if someone is communicating an injustice and you do not want to take credit for the injustice, you want to evade, you want to, as a man or a woman, you want to evade, or you want to act defensive, especially pay attention to the defensive aspect, or a person insults you because of communicating an injustice. Now that leads to something called suspicion. Suspicion is having a theory about something. This person was never like this. All of a sudden this person is now communicating to me like this. This person adored me. Now this person does not adore me anymore. So this person, I communicated an injustice with him or her. Now they are now using what I lack to attack me. You understand? So it leads to suspicion. And sometimes you might be suspecting the wrong thing.
Yeah, also that you have to have the evidence if you are suspecting maybe in matters of cheating.
Yes.
You don't jump into